5 must-know tips for those of you who are starting out in public speaking. Despite being an introvert by nature, over the past couple of years my job has required me to do a whole lot of public speaking, and it can be really intimidating. So I put together my 5 must-know tips for those of you who are starting out in public speaking, and if you hang around at the end of the video, I'll give you some practical examples. Number 1, open with a story. Don't open with, "Thank you for having me, it's so lovely to be here." Jump in with a story, it'll engage your audience, and the other thing that it does for you is it gives you time to fall into your rhythm of the speech as well, which is a really great thing so you can deliver well and be comfortable on stage. Number 2, eliminate as many of the fears that you have about getting on stage as you can before you get on stage. So for me, my biggest fear is that I would get on stage and my mind will go blank and I'll have nothing to say to an audience of 500 people. So for me, the way I got around that is I would write my speeches word for word and take those notes with me up on stage. It did a couple of things for me. One is it gave me a safety net, so if that moment did come, I could just look down and read off the page. And perhaps not surprisingly, the moment never did come because I had that confidence there with the notes. The second thing that it does do, and why I recommend that you do this, is because then you've already thought about how you will say everything, and those familiar sort of turn of phrase will come up for you while you're delivering the speech, and you'll seem much more natural. Number 3, know your content. You can't be surprised by the next slide that's coming up. You have to have the audience trust you, and that comes from them believing that you know what you're going to say next. So one way that I got around this is that I would take up those notes that I mentioned in the comment before, but I would put big titles at the top of each paragraph, which would say slide 1, and then just one word that would reference the picture on the slide, so that I could just glance down and know what was coming up next, and I could time the slides really well with what I was saying. Number 4, tech failures. This is almost guaranteed to happen to you at some point during your speech, and it's really easy to get thrown by them, but my advice to you would be acknowledge them. The whole audience knows what's happening to you. Acknowledge them, laugh it off with a smile, and just keep going. That way your audience will not be wondering, "Oh, did she notice if that has happened? What's going on?" Acknowledge it, keep moving, keep them engaged. Number 5, now this is the most important one. Remember, no one in that room wants you to fail. They're turning up to hear what you have to say. They're turning up to listen to your speech. They want to learn something from you. They believe what you have to say is important. So go in there, bring your smiles, bring your energy, and enjoy being up on that stage.